The mission has a rule of engagement, and the mission is a mission devoted to get information according with these rules. Chaque fois qu'on va à un bateau suspect, on demande des renseignements sur le bateau. Si le bateau répond et l'information qu'il donne nous paraît satisfaisante, on ne peut pas faire d'autre chose. We cannot do anything more. Only on the case in which the ship was not answering, when we can take another kind of activities, we can do something more. In the case of the Tanzanian ship, it was the Turkish military vessels who were escorting, who answered. The Tanzanian ship was not answering, but the Turkish military escort answered. And when there is an answer and we don't find any specific reason according with the rule of the sea, we cannot do anything more than to transmit this information to the United Nations. And it's the United Nations to gather this information in order to control the implementation of the arms embargo.